Hi. Okay. This is my second video, and I in my first video I said probably a one and done, but then I said, you know what? I kind of liked it. I kind of liked making a video, so I decided to make a second video. Today is September 11th, and so condolences and prayers to any of you out there who are celebrating is not exactly the right word, but those of you that are remembering a loved one today. Um, what I wanted to talk about today was helping people who hoard. I recently had the privilege of helping a hoarder. And the reason why I say privilege is because if you've never been a hoarder, you have no idea how much trust it takes for them to let you in their house. Sometimes just to open the door, to let you in, um, to let you in, to I don't know, to just like the trust that it takes for them to to let anybody help them. And it can take a hoarder a very long time to admit that there's a problem. So the one particular hoarder that my husband and I recently have been helping, um, it took her a long time, and we kept saying to her, I won't use anybody's name because I don't want to embarrass anybody. Kept saying, very long time, we could help you if you need help. Um, but it's like, they have to want help. But anyway, so then finally she said to me, you know what? I think I'm a hoarder. So God bless her. So I think I'm a hoarder. So we started going over June 21st. And, did a little at a time. First organized the kitchen and then, the living room. And so slowly, but, surely, she started getting rid of a lot of stuff, you know. And then we took the stuff out, and a lot of stuff got thrown away, put in a dumpster. But a lot of stuff um, we could donate. And then even some other stuff, my husband was able to sell on Poshmark, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say these people's names or whatever, um, on selling sites. And so then have been able to, buy her things for her apartment, which is really nice, like newer things, because with hoarding, a person's personal belongings will get beaten up, you know, and so it's nice for her to have new things. But anyway, so what I wanted to talk about was if you have decided like you wanna help somebody, um, to get rid of their hoard. First of all, take a little advice from somebody who's watched hours and hours and hours of certain TV shows. Okay, you can't just. First of all, it's better if it's their idea. If they come to you, if they come to you and they say, "Listen, I really could use help with this, and do you think you could help me? Are you willing to help me?" But there's two shows that I like. One is just called Hoarders, and the other one is Hoarding Buried Alive. And with the regular hoarders, it seems like they're an emergency situation. Okay, like this people like they're gonna get evicted, like, and they got 3 days to clean up this house, and because the landlord's coming in, or the city's coming in, the state's, whoever's responsible for this, the authorities are coming in and saying you have got to get this done or else you're out of here, right? So they're more like an emergency situation. Now, Hoarding buried alive is more like these people realize they're living in this hoard. It hasn't really got to that point yet where the authorities are coming in. Sometimes it is, not always. And they can take 6 weeks to get a house clean. I think that's the better route, um, because um, the hoarding is really like it. It really takes an emotional toll on the hoarder, and so it's like so it's better if you, like I said, first of all, it needs to be their idea. It needs to be their idea. They need to come to you, and when they come to you, you have to make them understand. Okay, this is your house. This is your apartment. Okay, so you this is your stuff. I'm not the boss of this stuff. You're the boss of this stuff. You can keep anything you want. You can keep all of it, or you don't have to keep any of it because it's your stuff. And when you put that control into the hoarder's hand, then I think it's like, oh, shoo, okay, good. Because, like with a lot of hoarders, it's like the reason why they hoard in the first place is because they feel like a lack of control. Or there's something in their life going on that they feel a lack of control. So, you know, so they, that's what they hoard to have some control in their life. But once you give them the control and say, this is your stuff, and I'm going to help you get rid of anything you want me to help you get rid of, and and then clean the room once it's once it's gone through whatever. Um, but the Hoarders television show, their approach of just trying to come into a 9-room house or whatever and clean out everything in 2 days, I think that's overwhelming. That's just my opinion. I just think it's too overwhelming. But sometimes it's like tough love. That's what the family needs to do, because it's like, look, Uncle Joe. It's like the family says, the township's coming in here and they're going to um, get rid of your house if you don't, if you, if you don't get rid of this stuff. They're going to come in here and they're going to evict you out of your own house. They're going to put a sign on the door and you won't be allowed back in. Then the township will clean up the house and then they'll bill you for it, for the privilege. So you need to let us help you do this, so that either, you can continue to live in the house, or like, so you have control over what you keep, whatever. Um, but the person who we helped, I said, the good news is I believe that you're level 1, because I think there's like 5 levels. And so if you're going to put a level on it, she was like a 1. So I was really proud of her. She was like really like really, really, really getting rid of stuff and really like not arguing about it at all, like really. And when I showed her a couple of things, I said, this can't legally be like this in the house. Um, this legally can't be like that. And she has a daughter, so it's like she has a daughter who's under 18. So there's certain things that you have in here that cannot be because you have a child living in your house. Okay. And so she listened to that advice and she says, okay, we'll do this and we'll move this over here. And she was great. She was so great. And so we're just about done. Um, there's like some extra things we want to do, and to like to make things homey. Her daughter wants the bedroom painted, so we're gonna do that. But because you can't do that, you can't do that kind of stuff with a hoard. There's like no room to work. There's no room to do anything. And like, for example, the lights in our kitchen weren't working. Well, she was afraid to tell the landlord, because the landlord sends the maintenance guy in there. Then the maintenance guy is going to report back to the landlord, oh my gosh, she's living in this hoard. You better, whatever. Well, now we're secure. We feel like we've done enough work. Let the landlord come in, because it looks beautiful now. Who cares? Let her knock up on the door, you know. But and also another thing is you have to be patient, you know, um, with a calm tone of voice, because if you start getting upset, then they're gonna get upset. There's gonna be an argument. You don't want that. And yet remind them this is your stuff. You know, we're just here to help you. You can throw away nothing, or you can throw away everything, or you can throw away somewhere in the middle, you know. Well, then as we go along, she's like really loving the process, and she's really loving, because this is a person who suffers from chronic depression, and and has to be medicated and everything. And so, a hoard, it's like a catch-22. If you hoard, it'll cause depression, but then you have the depression, so you don't feel like cleaning anything. So she's like, you know, didn't want to clean because of the depression, but she's been seeing a doctor and proper medication, so that's helping. But she's like, all of a sudden now, she's like, like, it's so cute. She uses coasters now on the coffee table. So I thought that was adorable. Her and her daughter, they use coasters, and it's like, before you couldn't see the coffee table, and now they're using coasters. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my heart. So it's like awesome. And it's like, my husband and I were talking about how we wish we would have taken before and after pictures. Not that I would have put them on Facebook or anything like that, because it never, like I said, you never want to embarrass the hoarder, the person that you're helping. You never want to do that. But just for our own thing, like maybe print out some pictures, make her a little album. This is what your place used to look like, and now it looks like this. But the best part of all is she's she's keeping it. She's keeping it nice. So she might get a little slip here and there, but she's been keeping it pretty nice. And so she's been like keeping up with it. And it's been a really really good experience. And she's learning that it's interesting, like she's learning that it's better to keep it clean. But it's like they say nowadays that hoarding is like its own disorder, but it's also kind of like part of OCD. So it's like it's amazing to me, like how you can have OCD and be a hoarder, but have OCD and be a clean freak. So it's really weird. So it's kind of like her OCD is saying, I think I'd rather be clean. So it's almost like she still gets to have OCD, but now she's being clean instead of being a hoarder. So it's like it's okay, because I got a watery eye. And anyway, it's okay, you know, because if you're gonna be one way or the other, I guess it's better. If you're gonna have OCD and you're gonna be one extreme or the other, I guess it's better to be clean, than be a hoarder, because you know don't get in as much trouble being too clean as you would. But so it's like you just got to be patient with them, one step at a time. Like we go over once a week. But the other thing is like you have to be committed, because on the Hoarder show, they talk about aftercare and how they have aftercare funds. You have to be willing to stick with this person and say, and make them accountable, you know, to like that they need to know that you're gonna check up, and not that you're gonna become the boss of them, but that you're gonna check up, and so it's like so you have to be willing to not just put in the work, but then be like their aftercare, like their source, like their person that they can count on to like check up on, talk to. It's like, oh, you check up and you say, and I don't mean like run over to the house without calling first and, oh, I see your bed's not made or your dishes aren't done. I don't mean that, but just like call up and say, hey, I'd like to come over for a visit today. And then they know you're coming over, and it keeps them motivated, you know. But anyway, So I think that's all I wanted to say about that. But anyway, so one thing I need to mention, I'm not a football fan, but everybody in my family seems to be. So go Eagles. 38-34 against the Lions or something. I don't know. I watched like the last quarter of the game with my husband. But yeah. But the Eagles almost gave it away because that's what they do. But so it's raining here today in Pennsylvania. It's a little dreary. It's raining. And yeah, so we don't live in Philadelphia. We live near the Philadelphia airport, but pretty darn close to Philly. And so, yeah, so that's who we root for. And McDonald's does this thing whenever the Phillies win, you get a free crispy chicken sandwich. So that's good. So I've been eating one too many of those, I can tell you that. Yeah. So, but this is my second video, and I'm really terribly sorry that I wore eye makeup on the first one because now I feel like any video after, I need to wear eye makeup. So it is what it is because, but like the first video, I'm like really sorry. Like you got to see up my nostrils and my crooked teeth and all that. And so I'm trying to do better. I have no idea what I'm doing. And like I said in the first video, not a YouTuber, but maybe I will become a YouTuber. I don't know. But my thing is, I don't really need to be monetized. I don't really. I mean, maybe one day. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll look and see and say, oh my gosh, there's 1,000 views. Wow. I can't see that happening, but I'm gonna just talk about things from my heart and see where it goes. I don't know. But so okay, well, I'll talk to you again and be praying for y'all. All right, and have a nice day.